Hey guys, welcome back. Hey, you probably got a paper because you got a tape measure. Uh, as always, you'll get a piece of paper. It'll have use and care instructions. Um, it'll be 3-hole punched. You can put it right into the folder that you got that says, on the outside, we'll have the tools that you earned. These are the tools that you earned that you get the opportunity to learn how to use, and uh, you know, the papers inside there is going to teach you how to care for them and what some details about them and how to use them. But we want to do videos and teach you a little bit more about them. And we're talking about a tape measure. Now this won't look exactly like this. Your tape measure. This is my tape measure that I've had for quite a while, and I use this in my remodeling business and in my carpentry business, and but it's going to be all the same principles apply to your tape measure. It's got a hook on the end, blade with the measurements, it's got the body, and it's got a lock. So some of them have little buttons on them, some of them have different kinds of locks, but essentially almost all tape measures are pretty much identical to these. Keep an eye on the case. Make sure that the case doesn't have a bunch of isn't cracked, isn't split, doesn't have big gouges or anything out of it. If it has gouges or something that have a spur or a rough spot on them, you can take a little sandpaper, sand it off. It should be fine. Most of these are nothing but plastic, so they should clean up pretty easy. You have a little hook on the back of here. That's for hooking it on to your pocket, your belt. Some tool belts have a little place that you can hook it. You can on your apron. You can even hook it on your apron if need be. But most of the time, you just hook it right on your pocket, and that's it'll stay right where you want it. The blade lock, you can pull this thing out, and whenever you get where you want to be, and if you're going to take several measurements that are close to the same length, you can push that thing down, and that locks the blade in place. That keeps it from retracting. And then you can go ahead and mark measurements over and over and over again. Often, it'll be, you pull it out a little past what you want, and then you can go ahead and mark out your measurements over and over. To let the blade loose, you just pull this back up. Notice how I didn't let this thing go because it's going to fly back into here and it's going to bang. You want to keep your finger on the bottom. Be careful not to get your finger against the side, because it will cut you if you just let it slide against your finger. But if you put your finger here on the bottom like this and you let it slide, let that blade come down there and bump your finger, and then take your finger out and it closes gently. And that way you don't get this thing so that it's too loose, because this will break off, and then your tape measure is junk and it's time to go get a new one. This should move just a little bit. It doesn't move a lot, but if you listen, you can hear that clicking back and forth. That's moving. What that's for is when you take an inside measurement, it goes in. When you take an outside measurement, it goes out. And the reason for that is the thickness of this blade. When it goes on the inside, it actually adjusts for the thickness of this so that you get the right measurement. The measurements, let's talk about the measurements. Since we mentioned this, we have our scale here. Now, your tape measure is going to be pretty much the same as this one. You're going to have the full inch marked out. You're going to have ½ inches. That's this little mark right here. You're going to have 1/4 inches, which is the slightly shorter mark on each side of that half. This is 1/4, and this is 3/4. Then between the quarter marks, you're going to have eighths. This is 1/8. This is 3/8. This is 5/8. This is 7/8. And then between that, the smallest mark you have there is 1/16. Now, we probably won't get down on most of our projects, get down to that small, but they're here. That's the smallest mark on there, 1/16, 3/16, and so on. The other thing you're going to notice is if you pull this out here, you're going to see 1 foot mark. Every 12 inches, you're going to see a foot mark. 1 foot, 2 feet, right there, and so on. The other thing you see that red number. This is what for you using whenever you're doing wood framing for walls, floors, and things like that. That is 16. That is what distance apart studs and floor joists and so forth are in general. If you're using dimensional lumber, that's the number that you use. But for our purposes, and if you notice, you see these little red numbers here. This is 1 inch, 2 inch, 3 inch. That way you use 1 foot 1 inch, 1 foot 2, and so on. If you go back out here to 2 feet, you'll notice it starts all over again. 2 feet 1, 2 feet 2, 2 feet 3, and that's how you'll read it. Now, what you want to do is you want to pay attention, especially toward this end whenever you get to the end of your tape measure, because this is where the majority of your wear happens. And you'll get to where the sides here will get to where the paint starts to come off just from sliding in and out of the case. When it gets to the point where it's hard to read, it's time to replace this thing. You want to be able to get accurate measurements. You don't want to be worrying about whether your measurement's off by a little bit or not. It's time to get a new tape measure. They don't cost a lot of money, but your tape measure should last you for quite a few years. This one's been around for, I think, about 10 years. So I've actually been pretty gentle with this one. They don't usually last that long, but in general, the edges, you're going to see some silver that starts to show up on these outside edges. Now your tape measure is kind of concave. It means it's bent. This is bent a little bit. What that allows it to do is it allows it to flex. Now you can flex it a little bit like this without hurting it. But if you bend it too tightly, you'll crease your tape, and that'll create a weak spot, and that's where it's going to break. So anytime you're using this thing, this will bend really easily, but it doesn't like to bend the other way. What they call standout length. Each tape will you'll be able to hold it out there a certain distance, and it'll hold up all by itself. Your tape is going to be different from mine because your blades is going to be narrower and slightly less bent, but that allows you to stretch that tape measure out and catch a hold of the end of a board or something without having to walk all the way down there and hook it. You can pull out a couple feet and hook it on the end of your board, and then that allows you to then pull out, and you can go ahead and make your marks. But basically, just make sure that tape isn't banging down into the case, and that you keep your finger off the edge of here because you don't want to cut yourself. Now occasionally this is going to get dirty. You're going to be working with wood and stuff. It's going to get dust on it. It's going to get dirt on it. You might use it outside for something else, and it'll get dirt, mud, what have you on it. You're going to want to clean that off of there. Take a dry rag, like with any other tool. Take a dry rag, wipe it off, or if it gets wet, wipe the water off of it. Get it nice and dry and clean, and then take your rag with WD-40 and give it a quick wipe. It never hurts to get some lubrication back inside this case, because there's a spring inside here that actually pulls that tape back in, and a little bit of WD-40 back in there can't do anything but help it. But once you get that all lubricated and you put it back, you can put that away, and it'll stay. See how shiny that is? It'll stay looking like that for a good long time. We'll catch you on the next video, guys. Good luck with your tape measures, and happy measuring.